Time is running out for the Xbox 360 store. With it closing soon on July 29th, every game and DLC that isn't backwards compatible will forever be gone. This includes over 200 digital-only titles that you can't get on disc. I even made a video listing these games if you're interested in knowing which ones. But even before this happens, so many games have already been delisted from the Xbox 360, a number of these exclusive. I also did 2 videos on delisted PlayStation 3 games filled with titles that also appeared on the Xbox 360. The games listed in this video can't legally be purchased anymore. Some are backwards compatible and you might own them. As you'll discover, some of these have received newer, updated releases, thus delisting the originals. With that, let's take a look at a number of Xbox 360 games that were delisted years prior to the closure. There's a lot of interesting titles that have simply been forgotten to time. Like the fan favorite 1 vs 100. Sadly for the game, it had a short lifespan. First released in the US in June 2009, the game lasted for 2 seasons before it was delisted in February 2010. This was a massive multiplayer online trivia game and, in a way, basically one giant experiment. Players competed to earn entries in sweepstakes, chances to win Microsoft points, and a selection of games. Players loved 1 vs 100. It was popular and many have been waiting for a new game for a long time. Microsoft would then try with a free game called Karaoke. 5 free songs changed on a daily basis, but those who wanted access to the full library of songs could purchase a karaoke pass that lasted for 2, 6, or 24 hours. All songs were streamed so nothing took up space on the hard drive. Karaoke was shut down after 2 years in 2014. The only remnant of this game remains in a number of avatar items that can still be purchased. BloodRayne Betrayal was very mixed for fans and critics. Some loved its challenge, others didn't and despised the controls. Really, this style of game wasn't the best way to bring back a dormant beloved series. A decade later, an enhanced version called BloodRayne Betrayal Fresh Bites was released for newer consoles with voice acting and an easier difficulty mode. With this, Betrayal was delisted from the Xbox 360, likely due to its backwards compatibility. However, the game still remains on the PlayStation 3 store. With the release of the Sonic Origins collection in 2022, Sega took it upon themselves to delist a number of classic Sonic games. This included Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic CD, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. All of these are backwards compatible. Plus, Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles were never released on the PlayStation 3. Beyond Good and Evil is a beloved classic that didn't sell well. So when HD ports and remasters were popular, Ubisoft released Beyond Good and Evil HD. With the anniversary, Ubisoft has now released Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition full of new content. Much like Sonic, Beyond Good and Evil HD was delisted. The game was backwards compatible, but why spend $10 when they can spend $20? PAL Regions did receive the Ubisoft Xbox Live Hits collection, which includes Beyond Good and Evil HD. Age of Booty is a strategy game where players control a pirate ship with the goal of defeating enemy ships, capturing towns, and looting treasure. The game was delisted from Steam and PlayStation 3 way back in 2015 due to GameSpy services shutting down, rendering the online portion of the game unplayable. For Xbox 360 players, they had the game until March 2024. The game was backwards compatible, but who knows why Capcom removed the game this late. The War of the Worlds is a new take on the classic H.G. Wells story. It's a 2D side-scrolling platformer with its story narrated by Patrick Stewart. After being released in 2011, it was delisted in 2013 alongside other Paramount Digital games, which also included The Warrior Street Brawl. This is a beat-em-up that can be played with others. Unlike Rockstar's game based on the film, Street Brawl received downright negative reviews. Fans of Ben 10 have had so many games released, but one you can't play anymore is Ben 10 Alien Force: The Rise of Hex. The game only released digitally for the Xbox 360 and Nintendo Wii. Through 15 levels, Ben transforms into 10 different aliens to fight enemies and solve puzzles. The game was released in 2010, but delisted on the 360 in 2013, likely due to an expiring license. Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader was a successful game show when it originally aired, and this led to endless video game adaptations. A game subtitled Make the Grade was released on various platforms physically, but only released digitally for the Xbox 360. In 2011, both the game and its downloadable content was delisted. 3D Ultra Minigolf Adventures 2 featured 54 holes to play set throughout 3 themed worlds, or take this a step further and create your own courses. The game was delisted likely sometime between 2012 and 2013, when its developer was absorbed into another and rebranded. Axel Pixel is a point-and-click adventure released in 2009 and delisted in 2016. It follows a painter named Axel and his dog Pixel, who awaken in a dream world of Axel's creation. In order to escape, the two solve the mysteries of the dream world and defeat the main villain. Earthworm Jim HD is a remake of the original 1994 classic. Almost everything from the original is here, along with new levels and extra content. The remake was released in 2010 and delisted in 2018, possibly due to an expired agreement with the publisher and rights holder. Double Fine Happy Action Theater was a Kinect game that offered 18 different modes of play. The game lasted for less than a year before being replaced with a so-called sequel called Kinect Party. The game offered everything in the original but with new modes. Kinect Party charged $10 for a full game unlock and charges extra for its DLC. Street Trace NYC is a hoverboard combat racing game that features racing and arena modes. The game is said to have one of the longest developments of any Xbox Live arcade game. What was originally meant to launch with the Xbox 360 in 2005 was pushed all the way to August 2007 and then delisted in 2014. Bit.Trip presents Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien was released in 2013 on many different platforms, but delisted on Xbox 360 with other games by the publisher in early 2018. Runner 2 remains available for almost every other platform and can be found physically for PlayStation 4 and Vita. All Zombies Must Die is a top-down arcade shooter where up to 4 players complete quests and fight hordes of zombies in an infected town. Each character has their own attacks, characters can be leveled up, and weapons can be modified. Originally released in 2011 but delisted late 2014. The Xbox 360 store may be shutting down, but one of the biggest hits came in 2017 when the Xbox Live Indie Games Marketplace shut down that October, and thousands of games were lost. One of these games was called Antipole, which focused on fast-paced platforming action with gravity manipulation. This could be used to solve puzzles, avoid obstacles, and fight enemies. It was released on other platforms, but those have been removed as well. The Xbox 360 was full of companies promoting their products through advert games. Doritos had many, with the most popular being Doritos Crash Course, a free game you can still play today. Then came Doritos Crash Course 2. The game was free but had a bigger focus on microtransactions. Crash Course 2 lasted a little over a year before it was delisted and shut down. Red Bull has had 2 delisted games, likely due to the branding. Red Bull X Fighters put players into the world of freestyle motocross, launching off huge ramps and performing jaw-dropping tricks. Meanwhile, Red Bull Crash Ice Connect claimed to be the most intense Kinect sports game for your living room. Fly down at intense speeds, carve through tunnels, and pull off stunts across 5 tracks. Intel Discovered was part of a larger ad campaign that featured a web series, mobile apps, and much more. This Kinect game had players gain schooled by Chris Evans on the secrets of being an action hero. Players performed actions like punching, kicking, posing, smiling, and more, all on the path to stardom. The game was released for free in 2012 and delisted in 2014. It's quite possibly one of the weirdest advert games ever made, and its highly negative reception says everything. Yaris promotes the Toyota Yaris. Pick from one of 3 models and take to 8 different tracks as you use an arsenal of weapons against enemies. Reviews hated the game, players found the game cheap, and even being free, many said to avoid this. It was only available for a year until its delisting in 2008. There are a number of delisted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games I talked about previously that also apply to the Xbox 360. However, these 2 games are exclusive. The first is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also called TMNT 1989 Arcade. This was a port of the classic arcade game. Released in 2007, it was delisted in 2011 after Ubisoft's licensing deal expired. Then we have the free Kinect game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Training Lair, which promoted the 2014 live-action film. Basically a Fruit Ninja knockoff with an emphasis on using different weapons. The game lasted around a year before it was delisted. In Snoopy Flying Ace, your Xbox avatar joins Snoopy and the rest of the Peanuts gang in aerial duels. Customize your plane and weapons and then duke it out in single-player or co-op challenges. The game was delisted in 2016, most likely because of the Peanuts license. Rhythm Party for the Kinect turns your body into the controller as you use your arms and legs to hit icons on screen. The game lacks any proper choreography like in other dance games. Instead, your movements create an original performance. With the number of licensed songs featured in Rhythm Party, the game was delisted in 2015. We have a trilogy of Toy Soldiers games that were delisted at the same time in 2020. This includes the Xbox 360 games Toy Soldiers and Toy Soldiers Cold War, along with Toy Soldiers War Chest for the Xbox One, but this is available physically. Wallace and Gromit's Grand Adventures is a 4-episode story developed by Telltale Games. The game was delisted from both the Xbox 360 and Steam in 2014 after Telltale decided to not renew their agreement. The game was relisted on Steam in 2020, though the same can't be said for the Xbox 360. An updated version of SoulCalibur was re-released exclusively on the Xbox 360. Then the game was delisted between 2021 and 2022 depending on the region. For the longest time, you could still purchase a code for this game through Amazon's website. Sadly, it's no longer available. It's unknown why it was delisted, but other SoulCalibur games and downloadable content have also been removed over the years. In 2010, the Xbox 360 lost 9 classic Midway games due to publisher evolving rights and permissions. These included Cyberball 2072, Defender, Gauntlet, Joust, Paperboy, Robotron 2084, Root Beer Tapper, Smash TV, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Exclusive to the Xbox 360, there was Tetris Splash. It's your basic Tetris game but with an aquatic theme. Tetris Splash offered single-player and multiplayer modes, but pushed online play. Players could decorate their background aquariums with a variety of fish. Launching in 2007, the game and its DLC were delisted in July 2019, months after Tetris Online Inc. announced their closure. Uno and its sequel Uno Rush were exclusive to the Xbox 360. This version of Uno is often regarded as one of the best to many. When Ubisoft gained the Uno license in 2014, this resulted in both the 360 versions of Uno and Uno Rush delisted. However, Uno can still be played from the Xbox Live Arcade compilation disc. Activision released a lot of Shrek games during their time with the franchise, some good and some bad. One was exclusive to the Xbox 360 called Shrek and Roll. This puzzle game saw players manipulating a plank of wood with a ball of food. Avoid dropping the ball, collect bonus items, and ultimately roll the food to Shrek's ogre babies. Most reviews called Shrek and Roll boring and overpriced. After being released in 2007, it was delisted in 2013. Every single Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon title has had its game and DLC delisted from the Xbox 360. All these games are on disc except for Forza Horizon 2 Presents Fast and Furious. If you know anything about the 360 port of Forza Horizon 2, you know how bad and buggy it is. Because of its clear connection to Fast and Furious, the game was delisted in 2018 for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. All Halo games on the Xbox 360 took a massive hit when Microsoft shut the online servers down in December 2021. Every single Halo game, including the isometric game Halo Spartan Assault, was delisted and all Halo DLC was made free. Thankfully, Spartan Assault can still be purchased on newer Xbox consoles. Lips is Xbox's forgotten karaoke series. Though Lips had a short lifespan, it also had a ton of downloadable songs. All these songs were lost when the in-game store and online server shut down in October 2014. These days, you can find Fantasia Music Evolved for a cheap price on disc. What you won't find is its DLC. Seeing as the game relied on licensed music, it was all delisted in 2018. Activision went full force on Guitar Hero games and spin-offs. Declining in sales, the Guitar Hero franchise would go on hiatus in 2011, and Activision removed all DLC songs for every Guitar Hero, Band Hero, and DJ Hero game. We end with a few games that haven't been delisted but will be on July 31st. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and Battlefield Hardline will have their games and all DLC removed on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Battlefield 3 is backwards compatible, but with the store closing and the online servers closing November 7th, now is the time to buy everything. As we've known, no digital game is ever safe. Even backwards compatibility doesn't mean much. It's great that more people can play improved re-releases of games like BloodRayne Betrayal and Beyond Good and Evil, but then the original releases are erased from time. What delisted Xbox 360 games do you own? Are there any forgotten games you would add to the list? Let us know down in the comments. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified about future content. If you enjoyed watching this, check out this video on delisted PlayStation 3 games. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.